sets, reps, and intensities. You already know all the exercises I'm using for my different muscles, legs, back, and chest. And this is going to be a simple one, but I'm going to explain also why I'm using each one of the rep ranges. Let's start with my low bar squat. You're going to see the 5x5 in the low bar squat and others, which you can already see. But the reason why I'm using a 5x5 here is because it's the easiest way for me to progress at this point with my low bar squat. And again, this is something personal because I've lost a lot of strength in the past months. And to me, it's going to be easy. It's going to be a simple progression scheme. And it's going to simply stimulate my muscles in the way that they're supposed to be. And they are the heavy one for my quads and my glutes. So that's why I'm using the 5x5. Then I have the front squat in a higher rep range, of course. I don't want to put too much weight. So I have a 4x10, 15, which means 4 sets of 10 to 15 reps. Just here, same thing, 5 sets, 5 reps. Should have said that. So 4 sets from 10 to 15. That means that when I pick a weight and I start working, I'll start to do 10, 12, get to 15. I up the weight, maybe 5, 10 pounds, and go with the progression. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is just rep ranges, sets, reps, and intensities. Okay, so moving up to lunges. 3 sets of 8 to 10. Why? Because they kind of hurt, and I don't want to be doing more than 10, to be honest. You can do more. You can do 12, 15, up to you. It's your pain, it's not mine. So lunges, that's my rep range. Sumo deadlift, again, you see the 5x5. Why? Because the sumo deadlift, you'll see, and I'll wrap it up at the end with the last 5x5, which you can already see here. But the sumo deadlift for me is another one that I can progress. Remember, I haven't been deadlifting for a while, and I can use this easy scheme just to increase my strength. It's not too taxing, it's easy to progress, and to be honest, it feels really good. So that's what I'm doing for sumo deadlift. RDLs are 4x8 to 10. They're easy to increase the weight, especially because I'm not that strong as before. And before I finish this point, I want to say something that's important for people who are, a lot of you might be going back to the gym after this quarantine and you might not feel like you're the strongest. So one thing to remember is that your muscles remember. So because they remember, you're going to get stronger faster than you did when you first started lifting weights. So you want to take something moderate, just do something moderate, just like I'm doing with my 5x5s. And in this case, the RDLs, I know I can do more reps. I'm not going to go over 10 because that's too much for my hands and also just my arms in general. It doesn't feel that good. So anything around that, it's fine. I can manage the weight. And 4 sets is just about right, for the split that I have. In other cases, you want to do 3 sets, and it should be enough. But again, this is my split, and you can just take some lessons from here. Back, I have rows, 3 sets of 8x12. Pretty simple. In fact, everything here is pretty simple in terms of the rep range. They're all 8x12. The reason why I'm doing only 3 rows is because this day I'm doing 2 exercises for my chest. And the other reason is because, again, I'm trying to keep it very simple, minimalistic. And the other reason is because my back gets tagged by a lot of sets throughout the week, which is on the next video. And I'll explain why, how many sets and all this stuff I'm doing, which is the progression scheme. And of course, my volume. So this is simple. It's 8x12 on the chin-ups and the pull-ups, even though I'm putting some extra weight. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to add to the resistance. And then chest, last 5x5. And here I'm going to get into why I picked 3 5x5s, which if you're familiar enough with the 5x5 system, the strong lifts or starting strength from Mark Ripto, you would recognize the 5x5. And this is my heavy bench press, the one that I talked about in the past video. Heavy bench press is where I do a progression scheme based on the weight itself and how much I can lift for fewer reps as a power lifter does. And this is why I picked the 5x5 for my heavy, whereas before I used to do 6 to 8, but now I'm doing 5x5. Pretty simple. If you see, I have a 5x5 for my chest, a 5x5 for my deadlift, and a 5x5 for my squat. Squat, deadlift, bench press. That's the classic one. So I'm going there because I just started. I'm kind of like a newbie, so that's what I'm doing. Then my hypertrophy bench press is going to be classical for sets, 8 to 12 reps, easy to progress, just like I always do. Incline dumbbell, which is a heavy one. You can see that I'm going not with a 5x5 because that would be kind of dangerous to me with dumbbells and doing 5x5, and it's not really required, to be honest. So my incline dumbbell press, heavy one, is going to be 4 sets of 68, the one that I just talked about that I used to do for my heavy bench press. And finally, the overhead press is going to be 4 sets between 6 to 10. Why 6 to 10? That's a weird rep range. I'll explain. Remember, you can go heavy on the overhead press, but you want to have a progression that also allows you to have a small increase in weight without taxing too much. And trust me, if you go with an 8 to 10 or a 6 to 8 rep range, once you hit the 8 and you feel like, my God, I did it, you up the weight, the next time you're going to suffer with only 5 reps. So you don't want to do that. You want to start with something big. This is also why when you progress with dumbbells on certain exercises, you want to have a wide range, because you don't want to have like an 8 to 10 and then progress to the next dumbbell, which is 5 pounds. You're not going to be able to lift 8. So that's why it's one of the small things that we manipulate as bodybuilders. So that's it for the sets, reps, and intensities. It makes sense now how I'm delineating everything here for my muscles and for my exercises. I'll see you in video 4, where I'll talk about the progression scheme, my volume, and everything else. All right? Can't leave you without the hug. Let's go. Yeah.